भारत की लीडिंग डायग्नोस्टिक्स और मेडिकल इमेजिंग चेन महाजन इमेजिंग एंड लैब ने नई दिल्ली के सफदरजंग डेवलपमेंट एरिया के अपने फ्लैगशिप सेंटर में इंटीग्रेटेड डायग्नोस्टिक्स और महिला स्वास्थ्य पर एक राउंड टेबल कॉन्फ्रेंस का सफलतापूर्वक आयोजन किया, जिसमें देखिए कि कई सारे लोग जो हैं वो यहाँ पर पहुँचे हैं। इमेज गुरु और पब्लिक रिलेशन एक्सपर्ट दिलीप चेरनी द्वारा संचालित ये इस पैनल प्रमुख में मेडिकल प्रोफेशनल और सोशल एडवोकेट्स शामिल थे। राउंड टेबल कॉन्फ्रेंस में महिलाओं के स्वास्थ्य से जुड़े प्रमुख समस्याओं पर चर्चा की गई, जैसे कि कैंसर की जांच, मानसिक स्वास्थ्य और बीमारी का जल्द पता लगाना में इंटीग्रेटेड डायग्नोस्टिक की भूमिका आदि चर्चाओं पर प्रिवेंटिव हेल्थ केयर को बढ़ावा देना और डाटा संचालित जानकारी और समुदाय में भागीदारी के महत्व को दर्शाया गया। चिंताजनक रूप से भारत के केवल 1% महिलाओं ही की सर्वाइकल कैंसर की जांच करवाती हैं। यह आंकड़ा विश्व स्वास्थ्य संगठन के 70% के अनुचित लक्ष्य से बहुत ही कम है। चिंताजनक रूप से मौखिक और ब्रेस्ट कैंसर के लिए जांच की दरें भी काफ़ी कम हैं। ये आंकड़े कैंसर जैसी बीमारियों की जल्दी पहचान में एक महत्वपूर्ण कमी को दर्शाती है, जिस पर तत्काल ध्यान देना चाहिए। इसी को लेकर ये राउंड टेबल प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई। वहीं आपको बता दें कि इसमें आपको पद्मश्री पुरस्कार विजेता पूर्व क्रिकेटर, कप्तान और खुशी फाउंडेशन के संस्थापक जो हैं कपिल देव यहाँ पर पहुँचे। तो आपको बता दें कि किस तरीके से यहाँ पर जो है हिमाचल प्रदेश के चेतना संस्था की संस्थापक डॉक्टर मल्लिका नड्डा ने यहाँ पर बात रखी अपनी, किस तरीके से यहाँ पर महिलाओं को आज भी जागरूक होना पड़ेगा। वहीं एम्स में स्त्री रोग विशेषज्ञ डॉक्टर और ऑक्नोक सर्जन प्रस्तुति एवं डॉक्टर निर्जा भटला जो हैं वो यहाँ पर पहुँची। पंजाब केसरी के डायरेक्टर, वरिष्ठ नागरिक केसरी क्लब की संस्थापक और अध्यक्षता किरण चोपड़ा ने अपनी बातों को रखा। तो वहीं महाजन इमेजिंग लैब के डायरेक्टर डॉक्टर शैली महाजन ने भविष्य में किस तरीके से महिलाओं को जागरूक करना उस पर बात करी गई और डॉक्टर हर्ष महाजन ने भी यहाँ पर अपनी राउंड टेबल में अपनी बातों को रखा। और यह राउंड टेबल कॉन्फ्रेंस महिलाओं के निवारक स्वास्थ्य सेवाओं को प्राथमिकता देने के लिए एक राष्ट्रव्यापी आंदोलन की दिशा में उठाया गया एक कदम है। महाजन इमेजिंग एंड लैब इनोवेटिव डायग्नोस्टिक समाधानों को आगे बढ़ाने और इस महत्वपूर्ण क्षेत्र में ज़्यादा जागरूकता बढ़ाने के लिए समर्पित है।
Cases are diagnosed in this country because we tend to ignore the symptoms. That then is a fight. You know, it's expensive. There's a lot of morbidity, a lot of suffering, and you cannot achieve a cure. We talk in terms of 1 year survival, 5 year survival, 10 year survival. And also, you know, simple things like getting your blood pressure checked, getting blood sugar checked, and if you find that they are abnormal, do something about it. Also, please don't think that the government is going to do everything for you. We have to look after, each individual has to look after their own health. And I would conclude by saying that our forefathers in the country built a system of a sub-center, a primary healthcare center, a CHC, a district hospital, a medical college, and then the AIIMS on top. And the present government has been working to supplant it. We have the Ayushman Bharat health scheme where there is treatment and there is also the wellness and preventive arm. So all of that is there, but we need to be conscious about our own health. And as Kapil very rightly said, simple exercise, losing weight, not being obese. You know, obesity is the cause of so many problems, strokes, heart disease, diabetes, even cancer. And these are things which are well within our reach, and we should look after them. Prevention rather than cure, rather than treatment should be the motto in this country.
Thank you.
Data-driven insights have really revolutionized healthcare by enabling precise, predictive and personalized treatment strategies. When we talk about what we have found about Indian women in terms of our research on cancer and other diseases also, like cardiovascular or diabetes, the problem I think is that we are still relying on the data which has been provided to us by Caucasian populations. Our problem is that, in fact, I always say that we are sitting on a treasure of data. Being such a heterogeneous country, epidemiologically, socio-economically, if we look at the entire, the genomic data of the entire country, I'm sure we'll be surprised to find how heterogeneous we are in terms of our occupations. If you go and look at women artisans who might be working with some chemicals in some rural population versus a corporate woman sitting here in Delhi, their genetic makeup would be completely different. A, by birth, and B, by the kind of exposure they have been through. And sadly, they don't even know that they are being exposed to certain chemicals. Similarly, like we did a project where we did compare the BRCA data of northeastern population with North Indians. It was different. So it makes us decide the treatment protocols differently. While we are relying on the guidelines, on the genetic makeup of the standard data or the softwares which are there currently, because of the data being available only for the Caucasian population right now. So I think that's where we are as a country lagging behind, and we have immense technological expertise, we have immense scientific expertise, but we are not unable to utilize it because of cost. It's not possible for everyone to get a genetic test done. We sitting here are from the cream of the population, so it's easy for us. But it's not possible for everyone to get it done. Let's be frank. There may be every awareness. Every woman may become very proactive and everything, but it's not possible today for everyone to get it done. And I think that's something we need to put our attention to. In terms of predictive medicine also, because I believe because BRCA has become a very, I would say, glamorous thing today, we know about it.
Do you want to tell
And
everybody what
oncology.
BRCA stands for?
Yeah, so BRCA is basically a gene which is most commonly mutated in a genetic breast cancer or a hereditary breast cancer. Apart from breast cancer, it is also associated with ovarian cancers, pancreatic cancers, prostatic cancers. But when we talk about genetics, we are not only talking about BRCA. It's a very important part of it, but a very small portion also. We are also talking about, and we need to be more concerned about the other chronic diseases as well, like cardiovascular diseases or diabetes or neurodegenerative disorders, wherein if we find a high risk factor in a certain population, there are proactive measures which can be taken to prevent, or just simple lifestyle modifications can be done, like Sir had mentioned, just simple lifestyle modifications can be done to prevent those diseases. If it's a genetic disease, how much ever physical exercise we do, if a cancer has to happen because of genetic reasons, it will happen. But we know what we are dealing with then. So we can target those cancers accordingly by treatment strategies. And there's just so much more. There's just plethora of things which we can do based on the data, not just genomic data, but by integrating the entire data of imaging, clinical opinion of a clinician, and epidemiology, and of course genetics and other lab tests. So I think there is a lot to do, lot which can be done, and I think we are a very data-rich country. We are just not utilizing it.
Surveying with information that I got through experience, and thank you, Ritu and Dr. Harsh Mahajan and V for her definitely is the way to go. And as everybody here, esteemed team here has said that it is very important. So I'll start by saying I can share out of experience that yes, early detection is the way to go. The reason I found out we were still in the second phase of COVID, and it was just a little knock, which was in the month of July, which is a rainy season. So My husband included, he said, listen, this could just be a pimple, the weather is so and it's COVID. But because I had a family member who had just gone for the test, and I said, no, I paid extra attention to that knot, which was just like a tiny pimple, on my breast. And of course, instantly we picked up an appointment and went for it. And yes, that was not only, and it was just barely visible. But because of that, not letting it go, like insisting that no, I want to get my go whatever the process is, and spoke to the doctors here also that how to go about it. So we started with mammogram, and then of course I had about 3 of them in my right breast and 1 in the left, and lymph nodes were also affected by it. And yes, but this all was possible because I did not ignore one small which is very normal. So all I would say is that you should definitely not ignore, even if it's the smallest cough or cold or a headache, and just go, wait for 3 days. In my case, I didn't even wait for a day. It was a Sunday, and I know Monday I was there. By 18th of July, by 1st I was in surgery. So I had double mastectomy and double reconstruction. It was a process. But yes, it was only possible, and I'm sitting here because of that detection, and with my entire family and friends all standing by me. They never made me feel any less, but here I am because of that detection. And still, it's first started with every 3 monthly getting a checkup done. Now I'm down to 6 monthly. Then eventually they go on, by fingers crossed. So yes, I'm in fact, even before I'm due for a checkup, I get on the case of putting in my head that okay, next week I'm going to call the doctor. So you have to be, and I'm not reliant on my husband anymore to do that. I do that myself. And of course I have this wonderful team here that is available. Some tests I just want to get extra tests for, say, zinc and whatever, magnesium and all, because I want to be proactive, because if I'm healthy, my family will be at peace, my daughter will be at peace. They don't need to worry. So I go with the philosophy that I'm taking care of myself for you. You take care of yourself for me, And one more thing I'll say, which I learned through another doctor, is people say survivor, 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 and we leave it at that. One of my doctors told me, and that was an apt term, why should we be survivors? We should be thriving. Life is meant to thrive in it. And so yeah, dress up, get up, go, but first go out, do whatever you have to, but first go get your regular checkups done, and don't ignore, even if it's the smallest, tiniest of a headache or a cold or a pain, So that's my contribution to the...
Thank you.
Harsh and Ritu inviting me for this beautiful topic and meaningful topic. We really need to discuss about this topic. You rightly asked me कि old और senior women जो हैं उनको कैंसर के बारे में या हेल्थ के बारे में हम क्या एडवाइस कर सकते हैं. As you know, I am working for senior citizens since last 21 years, or middle class and needy. उन लोगों को मैं डील करती हूँ जो सारी उम्र बच्चों के लिए, समाज के लिए कुछ करते हैं पर अपने आप को भूल जाते हैं. और कैंसर, राइटली सेड, इट्स अ बिग नेम, और उससे डर लगता है, और आजकल वो जुकाम और खांसी की तरह है. पर मैं सबको यही कहती हूँ कि प्रिवेंशन इज बेटर देन क्योर. और अर्ली जब आपको कुछ भी लगता है, जो सीनियर सिटीजन्स हैं उनको बहुत सी प्रॉब्लम होती हैं, लाइक बीपी, शुगर, ऑस्टियोपोरोसिस, और ये बहुत सी हार्ट डिजीज़ है, आंखों के कैटरेक्ट के ऑपरेशन तो होने ही हैं, और सब कुछ होता है. पर जब उनको कैंसर का नाम सुनते हैं तो कैंसर इज़ लाइक ए हवा उनके लिए. तो उनको मैं ऐसे डील करती हूँ कि कैंसर आज जुकाम और खांसी की तरह है. आप जाओ, टेस्ट कराओ, और मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम डॉक्टर हर्ष हेल्प मी. इन्होंने मेरे सीनियर सिटीजन के लिए एक फ्री ऑनलाइन सर्विसेज भी स्टार्ट की हुई हैं, जो मैं उस सबको इनकरेज करती हूँ कि आपका तो कुछ नहीं लगता, आप फ्री जो सर्विस है, फ्री ऑनलाइन सर्विस है, वहाँ पे आप बात कीजिए, पूछिए, और बहुत से लोगों को उससे हेल्प भी मिल रही है. क्योंकि एक डर और एक अच्छा डॉक्टर डायग्नोज करने वाला मिलना, इट्स वेरी इम्पॉर्टेंट. क्योंकि आजकल जो है कि इतना बड़ा हो गया कि अगर तुम्हें अच्छा डॉक्टर मिल गया, जैसे मैं भी डॉक्टर हूँ, आई एम डॉक्टर मुन्ना भाई MBBS, प्यार से उनकी बात करती हूँ, फिर मैं उनको सिखाती हूँ, बताती हूँ कि जैसे कहते हैं ना कि सब ईट एप्पल वंस अ डे एंड कीप डॉक्टर अवे, तो मैं कहती हूँ कि अगर आपने डॉक्टर्स को दूर रखना है तो पहले आपने टेस्ट कराओ, जाकर टेस्ट कराओगे, एक टेस्ट कराओगे तो उससे डॉक्टर्स आपसे नहीं, आपके तो आना है डायग्नोस्टिक सेंटर में, तो आप दूर रख सकोगे। तो कैंसर उनके लिए बहुत बड़ा डर है। कैंसर एक नाम बहुत बड़ा है, एक डायग्नोस्टिक सेंटर में आकर उनको जब मालूम पड़ता है कि इट इज़ क्योरेबल, इट कैन बी क्योर, तो उनका डर थोड़ा खत्म होता है।
Got it, thank you.
I don't know the spelling of doctor, so there is no point I'll talk. But my thought process is totally different.
Yeah, healthy specimen.
Yes, उसके लिए उसी लिए मैं आ रहा हूँ. I think these are the people who can talk about that medical side. I can only talk about the health. If you keep healthy life, that's make all the difference. I think where we have to be awareness should be there कि क्या हमारी औरतों के पास भी क्या anybody who's become a grandparent, do they have a sporting shoes? नहीं है, तो आप कहाँ जा रहे हो? I think किस चीज़ की आप बात कर रहे हो? आप मेडिकल की बात कर रहे हो? ये सब आपके पास तभी आते हैं जब वो अपनी एक्सरसाइज या हेल्थ को नहीं देखते. How many people have that? Not even 2% of our country, people plus 50 have walking shoes. I think आप जिस चीज़ के ऊपर गौर कर रहे हैं उससे कई गुना ज़्यादा है कि उनके माइंडसेट चेंज करो कि यार रोटियां नहीं बनानी, बच्चे नहीं पैदा करने. You have to look after yourself, so look after the country. I think we always respect, and like Ritu said, we are celebrating a Women Day. बाबा हम हमेशा ही वुमेन को सेलिब्रेट करते हैं, एक दिन नहीं है. It's not one day. I think woman is a very powerful tool we have. I think it's important the recognition what in our country in last 30 years given to the woman is not you can put the number there. We recognize that women have the power, but I think it's more important for us, for the government, for everybody get into the sports side. I'm a sportsman, so I can talk about sports. I'm not saying कि जाना चाहिए, टेस्ट करवाने चाहिए कि नहीं, पर ग्राउंड में जरूर जाओ. वॉक के लिए चाहे आप 70 years old हो, एटलीस्ट आधा घंटा वॉक तो करो अपनी स्ट्रीट पे. That's more important. If you want to go look for the cure, that is the cure. Not कि हम टेस्ट करवाने से ही हो जाएगा, पर वहाँ तक पहुँचने के लिए प्लीज लुक आफ्टर योरसेल्फ. आई थिंक हमने इग्नोर किया हुआ है अपनी स्पोर्टिंग साइड. हम एजुकेशन के लिए कह देते हैं. आज अगर किसी को भी बोले कि आपको ट्यूशन के लिए जाना है, सब माँ बाप भेज देंगे. आज उनको बोलो कि आपको खेलने के लिए जाना है, उसके लिए 100 रुपया देना कोई नहीं देगा. So the mindset we have to change in our country. The sports is the only way you can make our country stronger. Yes, rest of the thing you can take care. For my job is I always says, no, bring the people to the playground. इतने बड़े बड़े स्कूल परमिशन मिल जाती है, बना देते हैं, प्लेग्राउंड है ही नहीं. How is that possible in our country? चाहे वो अर्बन हो या कहीं भी हो, जब आप स्कूल देते हो 40% to 60% should be a playground. If you make that, then the country becomes strong and then your part becomes easier. But if you're not going to look after that side and not talk about that side, then as a sportsman I feel very sorry about that. But I think I must say that you people are doing a great job. As a sports person, I would say it's more important today to look after the health side on this, where you have to walk, you have to eat properly. Awareness is the strength. If you are not aware, you lose everything. You want to say something, please.
Dr. India, treatment is, as Kiran said, one of the important things. But even more important is inspiring people. And you are an inspiration for millions of Indians. Inspiring them कि ये prevention करो, ये test करो, जल्दी करो, ताकि you don't have to wait too long. With your kind of huge experience, if you were to prescribe one test that every hospital, every enabled rural center must do when a woman comes there, even if they come for a, as Mallika ji said, that today some of the incidences of some cancers are suddenly springing up in larger numbers. So what is the one test that you would say must be done? Whether the patient asks for it or not, what is it that you would say that must be a must? And
A question, and I would also say thank you for the invitation to have me here on this panel. It's really a powerful initiative for her. And indeed, as Mallika ji was talking about breast and cervical cancer, set the stage very nicely. Women in general have been preoccupied, as was mentioned by Ritu ji also, and have only focused on symptoms. And curative intent has not only been with the patient herself, but also with hospitals, who are so preoccupied with the burden of patients that preventive care takes a backseat. But now cancer is increasing exponentially. There's not a single family I know who doesn't have some member with some form of cancer. It's actually alarming. And there are various reasons, because each cancer has its own. But it is hard to say one test. I'll
let you say two then.
Yeah, no, because why I say it is that there are a lot of preventable and preventive problems which are interlinked and which also influence the outcome of the other. So in India, if we look at it, our problems of anemia, tuberculosis, diabetes and cancer are all very much interlinked, not just for the breast and cervical, but also for the endometrial. They impact how the patient will respond if she has a problem. But coming back to the problem that women don't want to know. They say, if I have the big C, they won't utter the cancer word. If I have the big C, I don't want to know about it. But trust me, you do. Because the sooner you catch it, the better is going to be your outcome. The higher are the chances that you will have a real cure. So in cervical cancer, we have also a pre-cancer. So we have luckily an era of molecular diagnostics exploding, and we are now on the verge of having HPV tests that are affordable for cervical cancer, which we are hopeful very soon with Nadaji's influence that we will have even in the rural settings. But for women in the urban settings, certainly we have very good HPV and Pap tests. And for breast cancer, we have mammograms, not in the rural setting at the present time. We are reliant more on clinical breast examination, maybe ultrasounds. But for younger girls, ultrasound, sometimes in familial cancer cases, MRIs, and regular mammograms after the age of 50. And these are the things why in the West, cancer is not such a feared thing. There are women who have a uterine cancer, later they have even a second one, breast cancer. They just go systematically, get them treated, get over one. It's like you had first a flu and then you had something else. So we can actually at least control the cancer and have a good quality of life.
Terrific.
Sports is the only thing I would say. Awareness, look after yourself. वो सबसे बड़ी बात है. टेक्निकली आई कांट आंसर बिकॉज मुझे इतनी नॉलेज नहीं है, इतना ज्ञान नहीं है. लेकिन अगर आप अपनी सेहत को ध्यान रख सकते हैं, 90% क्योर इज देयर.
इस तरीके से देखते हैं आज जिस तरीके से महिलाएं हैं रूरल एरिया में अभी भी जानकारी नहीं मिल पा रही, और आपने कहा कि हेल्थ के लिए जरूरी है निकलना लोगों को घर से बाहर.
बिल्कुल निकलना चाहिए, ये मुझे लगता है. मैं चाहता हूँ कि हाँ, कहना बड़ा आसान है, करना बहुत मुश्किल है, वो भी मैं जानता हूँ. लेकिन अगर आप अपनी सेहत के लिए नहीं कर सकते तो किसके लिए करेंगे? हम ये नहीं कहते कि दूसरे के लिए करो, अपनी सेहत के लिए बाहर जाइए, थोड़ा वॉक कीजिए. इट्स जस्ट ए गुड हेल्दी लाइफ इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. वही आपकी कंट्री को स्ट्रेंथ करता है, स्ट्रेंथन देता है. सो आई थिंक इनका एजेंडा और माय एजेंडा इज़ आई वांट एज ए स्पोर्ट्समैन लोग बाहर निकले, 24 घंटे मोबाइल पे ना रहे. बच्चे जो आजकल के हैं 24 घंटे मोबाइल पे रहते हैं. प्ले ग्राउंड में जाइए, कुछ कीजिए, उससे आपका बेटरमेंट है और कंट्री का बेटरमेंट है.
So not India winning the Champions Trophy.
वेरी गुड.
Something more, sir?
The idea is to create awareness, educate, and focus more on prevention of disease rather than on treatment. If we are able to actually catch disease early, be it cancer, be it heart disease, be it diabetes, then we are able to treat it much better, and the side effects and the problems associated with the disease are much lesser. Also, our focus is on integrated diagnostics, where blood tests, X-ray, ultrasound, CT, nuclear medicine tests, genetic tests, they are all done in a manner that they don't remain in silos. They are integrated to reach the final diagnosis as quickly and at as cheap rate as possible, without doing extra testing, doing the appropriate testing so as to be able to reach the final diagnosis. Because today, in the era of evidence-based medicine, without testing, treatment is not starting. And especially for serious illnesses, you need treatment, and that's where personalized treatment, personalized health checks are becoming very, very important.
जहाँ हम सक्षम भारत की बात करते हैं, वहाँ स्वास्थ्य बहुत आवश्यक विषय है, और स्वास्थ्य में भी महिला स्वास्थ्य एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण विषय है, जिसके प्रति सभी को जागरूक होने की आवश्यकता है. महिलाएं पूरे परिवार के स्वास्थ्य का ध्यान रखती हैं, पर कहीं ना कहीं वो अपने स्वास्थ्य का ध्यान नहीं रख पाती हैं. इसीलिए स्वास्थ्य से संबंधित जितने विषय हैं उसके प्रति जागरूक होना और फिट रहना, ये जहाँ महिलाओं के लिए इम्पॉर्टेंट है, वहीं महिलाओं के स्वास्थ्य की चिंता करना हम सबके लिए बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है. क्योंकि अक्सर ये देखा जाता है कि महिलाएं अपने रूटीन में सबके लिए सोच विचार करती रहती है, लेकिन वो अपने लिए नहीं कर पाती है. तो मुझे लगता है वी फॉर हर जो कार्यक्रम आज यहाँ रखा गया, इसमें हम सब महिलाओं की स्वास्थ्य की चिंता करें, इस विषय को हाईलाइट किया गया है. और मुझे लगता है ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों में, शहरों के क्षेत्रों में भी अवेयरनेस ड्राइव करने की बहुत आवश्यकता है. और यंगर जनरेशन में, लड़कियों में स्वास्थ्य से संबंधित अगर विषय को हम सही रूप में ले जा सकें, तो मुझे लगता है वो भी अपने परिवार में स्वस्थ समाज और परिवार बनाने में अपना योगदान दे सकती है.